Namaste. This is me, Anup Sapada from British College, MSc final semester. And today I am here to discuss about the posters, to show the demonstrations of the posters as well as the prototype of my project. Now, without wasting any time, so let's begin. So this is the poster that I have created, which looks very small, so I have to zoom it. I have to zoom it very hard in order to see all the text. So here is the title of my project. The title of my project is Automated REST API Representational State Transfer Application Program Interface Test Generation. So basically this is my titles, and this project explores how artificial intelligence techniques, especially NLP, LLM, reinforcement learning, can be combined with the model based testing to automate and enhance the REST API testings, bridging the gap between the academics research and industrial practice. So let's discuss about these introductions. Modern software depends on the REST APIs for interoperability across cloud, mobile, and microservices ecosystem. However, their loose contact, hidden dependencies, and semantic inconsistency often cause the reliability and security issues. Traditional testing tools either. Okay, so there are three types of the traditional testing tools that is discussed over here. One is black box, white box, AI based, NLP, LLM, RL. Black box is high coverage but semantically irrelevant. White box precise but impractical with the source code. AI based NLP, LLM, RL is promising but fragmented, siloed, and unusable at scale. So below that there is the REST API workflow diagram that describes about the working workflow of the REST API. How does it work? There will be a client, and the client will give the request to the server, API endpoint, HTTP API endpoint request to the server, and the further on the server will respond according to the command given by the client. And the next one we'll discuss is problem statement. Current REST API testing is not semantic aware, does not capture the implicit rule workflow of parameters restrictions, not unifying platform that supports semantic adaptive exploration and reproducibility. Tools like Postman, Wrestlers demonstrates compromises depth versus beauty versus usability, desperate requirement for AI support hybrid solution that satisfies academic and industrial. So basically it says in problem statement there is so many problems, but if we combine them and we can see it one, it says that there is no such types of the framework, or there is no single framework provided semantic, adaptive, explorative, or reproducibility, that combines all everything in one system. That type of thing is not developed, and I'm going to develop such kinds of framework or such kinds of prototype that will be able to solve all the problem statements and the gaps using a hybrid AI assisted or hybrid AI pipeline. So this is basically the structure. API docs will be there. We will be using the natural language processing, LLM, and RL agent. Model based layer, test executions will be seen, evaluation will be done, and the result will be displayed. Right? So basically next one is stands for aims and objectives. So the aims and objectives must have to be clear. So I will describe my aims and what are the objectives that are going to be, which will be able to help me to meet my aim. So the aim of this study is to investigate an empirically constant and AI-aided methodology for automatic generations of the working test case for RESTful API that utilizes the natural language processing technique for parsing human authored specification and combines them with adaptive exploration technique to amplify semantic correctness for detection, the real world usability in comparison with the existing state of the art tool. So this is going to be my aim. And how am I going to achieve the aim? Objectives. I'm going to critically analyze the existing method tools, construct a hybrid model, NLP, LLM, RL, MBT, build a prototype of the system, Python 3.12, Fast API, Bootstrap dashboard, test with the live APIs, GitHub, Stripe, OpenWeather, Pet Store. This is going to be my API files, and compare to the various benchmark like coverage, fault finding, semantic usage, strength, limitations, and directions for further research reflect upon the strength and weakness of the studies. And background and rationale. Let's talk about the background and rationale. Hypothesis REST is the root of modern software, but it is still tricky to test because I would like to read one more time. It is an interesting line. Hypothesis REST is the root of modern software. It is the root of the modern software, but it is still tricky to test. Why? Because there is the complex workflow, that is authentication and dependencies. There is semantic limitations of dates, range, logical rules. Most tools today lack automation that is postman is actually a manual and wrestler is actually fuzzing only. And gap addressed is current tools either provide breadth or depth. This is the main point. The current tools either provide breadth or depth. The breadth means endpoint coverage and depth means symmetric rules, but lack the comprehensive support for both. So the contributions will be, the contribution that I'm going to do here is a hybrid that combines the semantic, adaptive and structural method in one scheme. I'm going to fit them in the one scheme by creating a hybrid methodology, by using the hybrid methodology. So here is the methodology and approach, which research methodology I am using over here to fulfill my gaps, to critically analyze everything. The research methodology that I will be using over here is design science research methodology for the semantic problem to solution development. The included paper technological grounding, model based testing, MBT with an AI extension. There is framework layers. There are 6 different types of the framework layer, but I have only discussed about the 5 over here. I combined the execution and dashboard layer at a time. So there will be 6. One is specification layer, open API parsing, semantic layer, NLP plus LLM guess hidden constants, exploration real layer, RL agent learn to explore workflows, structure tier, state machine and combinational coverage, execution and dashboard layer, test execution logging reporting. This will be the framework for the design. And here is the figure which clearly shows what will be our design and under which framework we are going to design everything, that is shown over here. And basically for discussing the research outcomes and the discussion prototype features, we will discuss about the prototype. Before coming to that, we will discuss about the prototype. So basically here is a terminal. You can see over here the terminal. With the help of the terminal, the localhost, I have run the API. If I started explaining the very full process from start to beginning, it will consume a lot of time. So without wasting any time, I will just like to show the demonstrations right now. So here is the upload open API specification. So there we have to upload only the JSONs or MLs specs files. It says it's done. You may have noticed that the first step in my tools is to upload the specs, that will be actually in the JSON ML file. This is not because because most modern APIs are documented in the OpenAI standard, sometimes known as the Swagger. And by uploading in the file, the system immediately gains the structured knowledge of the available endpoints, the HTTP method supports, the required parameters, and even data type and constants. This gives us a baseline truth to build upon instead of guessing endpoint like fuzzers. Do the system starts for a validate specification and generate both, you know, generate both the valid and invalid test cases. So for that reasons, here the YAML and JSON file is being used. So okay, let me show you. Here is a JSON file in a GitHub.json. You can just click on it. You can click on the upload, and here you see the file is being uploaded, and you can upload the specs. It says the copy the specs from here to here, copy fully. We just to copy, we close, we come here, we paste it, we run the test, and here see it is 0%. Executing after 0%, the test will run up to the 100%. The executions will be done like this, you know. See here, it is being run about the 100%. The executions will be 100%, and it will be furthermore easy. Test cases are running. Test case started successfully. So you can go to the view result. You can go to the view result, and you can just see the test. Oh, in this stores, we can see the test over here. So basically what are these means, it is the dashboard that shows how many total test results, passed, failed, average response times, and here is a chart that visually represents the status code, that is 200, 400, 500. We will discuss what is 200, 400 and 500. So basically this is a prototype, you know, that uses the ML or JSON file to do the endpoint testings. Here you can see timestamp, path, method, you know, it will do the endpoint testings of the of everything, like, you know, post, put, delete, post, get, put, get, delete, get, post. It will do the endpoint, the test of the endpoints will be done over here, and the responses will be seen here. And it is being characterized in the different, like timestamp is there, path is there, method is there, URL is there, type is there, status is there, and response is there, and also is type is there. So here you can see, yeah, So we can see here like that, test is running, everything is being running, and the dashboard is working properly, and the test is being conducted. This much of test, these are the CSV files. This much of test is shown over there. You can reload page one more time. Yeah, so here you can see, and the filter by status 200. Okay, how many 200 are there? You can see, you can count like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 200s are there. 200, okay, and 404 is not found. 500 is server error, and 200, okay, expectations, there is no expectations. And 500 404, there are lots of 404 also. And there is also server error, there are lots of server errors while working with this. So with the help of this, we are able to easily able to identify how many of these requests are getting the proper response and how many of them are not. We are able to test the API endpoint very perfectly here. So okay, let me minimize. So this is the in this picture. So the execution is being done 100. Okay, so yeah, problem is, we have discussed about this. We have the prototype features include this. We will upload the API specs, OpenAI or Swaggers, and craft semantical correctness and exploration test case in the automated way. Acronyze executions results are recorded in the CSV and charts which I have shown, and dashboards for the developers, usability focus, and evaluation means the files we have used. I have already discussed that why we need to use the ML or the JSON file, why those things are compulsory over there. And in the findings, the framework has detected an error in the structure. There is 405 500 detective semantic abbreviations in the payments, and it also shows payments, but we did not see the payment over there because such types of endpoint might not be available in that file. So that's why there might not be an error. So bit REST API postman in a semantic reasoning plus usability. What it says is that using the postman, if you have used the postman and you need to do each and everything one by one, you need to check one by one, it will be a manual testing. It will take you a lot of time. But here in my case, you just download a file, you just keep the file, you just run the executions. Behind that, you need to do a lot of code, but you run the execution and you see the results. So it covers the gaps, especially. Yeah, so evaluation is done, findings is also done, and critical reflection is there are pros and cons. Always everything has a pros and cons that exist in the universe. Combinations of the novelty, reproducibility, industrial usability, which we have done, pros. And limitations is LLM resource requirement, line of code to be monitored. Yeah, it needs to be monitored. RR scalability. Alternative is postman and wrestlers, and both of them are useless. So conclusion and ethical consideration. Let's talk about the conclusions. Illustrate new AI supported hybrid testing model. Advanced studies MBT comes together with the NP LM RL, provides the industrial revelation usable dashboard, bridge the camps between the theory and the practice. Only sandbox rated limited APIs are tested. These are the ethical consideration. No sensitive private data is stored. Avoided DOS or stress testing. Prompts responsible disclosure of results. And future work, what we can do furthermore in this project. The development prototype shows that the hybrid AI supported testings of the REST API is feasible. However, we intended to improve the prototype as follows. Enhanced LLM tight integration for more profound semantic reasoning and less hallucination. Scalable RL exploration, it should also be applicable for the large API with complex workflows. State graph visualizations for easier debugging and understanding. CI/CD integration to allow the continuous and testing pipelines. Security testing extension OSAP best to find the flaws. Okay, so to close, this project has shown that the automation REST API testing can be made smarter, adaptive, and usable by combining AI techniques with structured methods that develop the prototype. Not only advance academic research but also provides tools that developers can use in the real world practice. Thank you. I want to say thank you. I hope I was able to say each and everything regarding. I was able to cover each and everything perfectly, and I was able to show what methodology I have used, and what are the gaps, and how I was able to find the gaps, as well as including was I able to meet all my aims and objectives or not. So I think I have done each and everything perfectly. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.